Hey, welcome back to edtech by Meera. And in today's lesson, what we are going to do, we are going to do a real life project, which is calculating your BMI. What is BMI? Body Mass Index. Now, you know how important it is to show how healthy you are, to realize how healthy you are. You need to know your body mass index, right? Which is based on your weight and height. So let's get started without wasting time. So let's create a function with def. So define or def calculate BMI, because we want to calculate the BMI using the parameters. What are they? The main ones, because it's based on weight and height. Now BMI equals, as we know the formula, we need to do the formula here for the calculation, which is obviously weight. Any BMI is calculated this way: weight, which is divided by height to the power 2. Now how it is shown in index? To the power, raised to the power is shown by 2 stars, right? So weight divided by height, height is raised to the power 2. So this is the formula for calculating your BMI or body mass index. Interesting. Then after that, as usual in a function, you have to return, use the return method, return BMI. Okay, no need to print here yet. Then you have to create another function. This is how you do Python functions, Python projects, which first you decide what all task is to be done and then create a function for that. Remember, I told you earlier. So first you need to do the task of using the formula to calculate BMI. So you create a function, calculate BMI, write the formula, return the value of BMI. Then after that you create another function which is called BMI category with BMI as a parameter. Why? Because based on the value of parameter BMI, based on the value of BMI that you get as output after calculation, based on that value your BMI category will be determined. So like for example, this what I've done here, the formula, I've done it based on the World Health Organization, WHO, sorry. So there, this is the BMI calculation index, the category standards. That means if the BMI value is less than 16.0, it is considered as severe thinness. So we do the if-elif-else conditional loop here inside this function. So if BMI less than 16, so this is the task given inside the function to the function, return severe thinness. If the BMI is between, now if I say 16.0 less than equal to BMI less than 17 means the BMI is between 16 to 70. The range is between 16.0 to 17.0, lower point 16, higher level 17. So it's between that or equal to any one of the ranges. So that means it is return moderately thin or moderate thinness, right? And then you have another condition which is, so you have several ranges which is based on the WHO. So let's consider the other condition, which is the range that is, which is between 17 to 18.5. So if the BMI is between 17 to 18.5, yeah, in that range, then you have to return mild thinness. So this, now you know, because usually you will find in other projects and other indexes, they just use fat, thin, overweight, something like that, obese. But here I decided to use the exact standards of BMI, which is calculated as per the WHO, so that you know exactly your standard. You can actually use this. It's like a fun project, not only for you, for determining your BMI, but also for your family, friends, etc. It will be quite interesting, right? Okay, then mild thin. Okay, so we finished the moderate thinness. Then between 17 and 18.5 is mild thinness, or if the range of the BMI is between 18.5 to 25, then you will return normal thinness. So I'll keep on going until I cover all the ranges here. I just purposely did it for fun's sake, not only for fun's sake, but to actually to treat it as a serious project, because it's a real life project. Okay. So by coding the simple code, you can actually do something real. Imagine. So another range is between, if it is between 25 to 30, if the range of your BMI value falls between 25 to 30, yeah, then your standard or the category of BMI will be overweight. Return overweight means that's the category that you will be considered in that weight bracket or the weight range. The BMI range. Next, let's consider another range. (30 to 40). So, whenever you have a range, you can write the value like this. Okay, so BMI is the thing that we are considering. It's a factor we are considering, so that will come in between lower range on the left hand side, the higher range on the right hand side. So this is exactly the way to code in Python when you have a range. Remember that in future. So elif 30 less than BMI, that means the range of the BMI values between 30 to 35. Yeah. It could be 30 also, like 30 or including 30 and less than 30 or 30 and between 35, the upper range. Then you will return what? The category as obese class 1. Now again, obesity, mind you, has different classes. So this is what we are bringing up here as a serious thing, health factor. So you take this project seriously and you take your health seriously. Fun, isn't it? Okay. Then you consider a range between 35 to 40. So this will be return obese class 2. My God, it's even getting worse based on this value, class 2. So this is a Roman letter class 2, capital I. Okay, so I want to do projects that you can actually use in real life. So then it will be more fun, and if it's more fun, you will understand the project better, and if you understand the project better, you will be able to practice well and do more projects. So this is the idea of doing such projects. Okay, then let's consider, so we've reached until obese class 2. Okay. Now the last one, else means what? Obviously, which is above 40. We don't want to have a range. Above 40 is the ultimate limit. So if it's above 40, we just write else, because that's in if-elif-else, that's the last limit condition. So else, which means understood it's over 40, return obese class 3, which is the ultimate level of obesity, and really it means you're so unhealthy. Oh, sorry. You should not be celebrating. You should be feeling bad and cut off some of your fast food, junk food, street food, whatever you call it. Okay. So put this project up seriously for yourself and your friends, etc., and play and find out. And in the task of improving your health, finding your health status, you're also doing a fun project. Think of it, and learning Python somehow. So then you create another function called BMI result. Why are you creating this function? The final calculations will be done, the final inputs, because here, in order to calculate the final value to display to the user, you need to have a particular height and weight, right? Now this height and weight is not standard, it's based on the user. So it's user generated rather. So whenever a value is user generated, a variable is user generated, what do you need? You need to use the input function. So here we use the input function and say enter your weight or enter the weight in kilograms. Again, why do we use float here? Remember, whenever decimal values are considered, because obviously weight and height are decimal numbers, right? You have like 55.5, 40.5, whatever decimal numbers. So whenever decimal or floats are there, we use float. Yeah, then only it will input the value correctly. Okay, so again for the height also we use the same input function, float, and then inside float we use the input function and get the value of the height from the user. A prompt appears. Whenever you use input function, remember, a prompt appears for the user to input the value. First the weight and then the height. so that it can be specifically calculated. The BMI the result can be specifically calculated for the user and displayed. So what will be displayed? The BMI value will be displayed, and the category will also be displayed based on the BMI. So after we do the weight and the height, we get the values of weight and height. Next, what we do? We calculate the BMI. Now we need the equation for the formula for BMI. We've already done earlier based on the weight and height. But remember, we did the function calculate BMI. So here, what we do is calculate BMI is going to be our BMI. So our BMI value, why do I write the equation here? BMI equals calculate BMI, weight and height, because this was the function we first created to calculate the BMI. So the BMI value is tantamount to the value that you get from the function calculate BMI, weight, height. Remember that. Then we need the category. Now the category is equal to, remember the function we created for finding the BMI category, the BMI category with BMI as a parameter. So now we have the BMI value tantamount to calculate BMI. We have the category value which we will get from the BMI category function calculations. So all that is left to be done is print. Yeah, so print, we use the F format printing. So F format, string format, that is, sorry. So string format F, BMI, and then in the curly braces, we write, what do you want in this case? The BMI. So this will, as you remember earlier, whenever you write the curly braces, it will serve as a seed for substituting with the actual value of the BMI of that person, of the user, dot 1FY. So that whenever there's a decimal value, after the decimal only one place will be there. So we've done with the BMI category, the BMI printing with decimal, with digits placed, just one digit placed after the decimal, so that it looks neat and nice. Then we need to print out remember the BMI category. So same thing, print string format category, curly braces category, and then, so the same thing we do, the category in place, curly braces gets replaced with the actual value, then call the function, call BMI result. This is the last function we did, remember, the BMI result function. Just call it. How do we call? Write BMI result, the name of the function, yeah, and then it's called. And then we go through it like you've seen already what all functions we have created. We've created for BMI, the BMI category with various if-elif loops. The different ranges are mentioned here in order to set the category based on the BMI value. Then we created another function. The last one is the BMI result function, which will take the input for the weight and the height, and then which will consider the BMI and the BMI category based on the values of the function, which we have done as per the equations I explained. BMI equals BMI, and the BMI category is equaling the value that is got from the respective functions, as you can see in the code. So see, category is BMI, category BMI, BMI is calculate BMI. So they are the names of the respective functions, as you can see. Then we were able to print out the BMI and the BMI category using string format. Make sure that the decimals have only one figure after the decimal. So we did the string formatting accordingly, and last and foremost, we call the function for BMI result in order to display the result. Yeah, it's quite cool, right? And then we'll be running the test, and there you go, that's about it. And then you will know the actual, your BMI value, your BMI result and your BMI category. Enter the weight in kilograms. So I'm going to do my weight in kilograms. Oh, it's not 655, it's 65 kilograms. There you go. Enter height in meters. I'm going to write my height in meters. Now, I'm not going to tell you the calculation for height in meters from centimeters. I think you're going to figure out. It's quite cool. Okay. So my height in meters, but just to tell you, usually you have to divide by 100 from centimeters in order to get in meter. There you go, BMI 25.9, category overweight. Oh my God, I need to diet heavily. Okay, So I'm overweight. Not obese at least, but still I need to do something about it. So this should be a reaction once you see a result, but sometimes you may be not overweight, okay. If you're underweight, not okay. So just for fun, okay. Of course, it's your health, so you have to take it seriously. So now I know about my health status. Now let me figure out, use a value from my mom's and see whether she's overweight or underweight. Let me see. Okay, let me run the test so you can do the same for your family members. Enter weight 45. Okay, sorry, 55 kg. Okay. No, she's 45 kg. She told me just now. 45 kg. Enter weight in meters. It's the same as mine, almost similar. So first you do your centimeters and then divided by 100, like 158 divided by 100 is 1.58, right? Category mild thinness, BMI 17.9. There you go. So she's thin, but mild, so not so much to worry about. So see you in the next with more such exciting projects in Python. Smash that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on real life Python projects. See you in the next. Subscribe.